Why is it so dark when I do this video? I hope you guys can see it. Let me go more into the light because this is terribly dark. Hold on. Right. Ugh. It's actually night now. Hi everyone. I am uploading this video. Weight loss surgery war with words. That's what I'm going to call this video. Now, I have been contemplating whether to make a video that I'm doing now for some time. Well, since yesterday actually. Reason being, in the weight loss surgery family, I've seen 3 videos. 2 which was quite disturbing, and one was it had me concerned, but not to a level of disturbing, if you see what I'm saying. Just everyday issues. I'm not going to mention any names or anything because I don't really want people feeling the way for me to call any names, but I felt the need to put this video out there because even though I'm only going on 15 weeks almost into my surgery, there was a point in my life where I looked different from the average person because, as I've mentioned before, I had breast surgery 8 years ago, and I was ridiculously humongous, yeah, and I was so big to the point of every time to even go outside I was scared to go out because of what people would say and their reaction towards me, and how it used to hurt me all the time. And there were times where people would be so wicked and in their thoughts and words that they didn't even care if I had my child with me at the time. I remember my child was like 4, 5, 6, and even though they see this woman with her child, they would look at me, laugh at me, torment me, say disgusting things and what another for something that was just genetically mine, but I came to a point where I'd had enough. For many years I'd had enough, but I wasn't getting the support. I mean, I remember from the age of 17, it was a big issue. And going to the doctor, he thought it was a joke. When I asked him I wanted to have a breast reduction surgery, he laughed at me and said, "Oh, what's wrong with having big breasts? Samantha Fox has got them." If anybody knows who Samantha Fox is, Google her name. She was, she's now Christian, big time preacher. But back in the day, she was a well-known topless page 3 girl. We used to have this newspaper called The Sun, and on page 3 it was always with a woman that was topless, and she was the woman that was topless on this page, and she was well famous for it. But now she's a Christian. She went through a few issues, but there we go. But yeah, people never used to take me seriously, and they used to think it was a joke. And I remember going back to see a surgeon at the age of about 21 about my breasts, because I said, look, I'm really concerned, they're really big, I'm young, I look really odd, I can't stand the way I look, it's caused me a lot of pain. And then they quoted me a figure of £6,000, and there wasn't a thing like you could get insurance or whatever. I had to physically raise £6,000. I couldn't do it. And then 2 years later, I had my child, 23, and I couldn't even breastfeed. That's how big my breast was, because he couldn't grip onto the actual nipple. Yeah, so I couldn't breastfeed, because when I went to the 2 surgeons before, oh yeah, but you haven't had any kids, and when you have kids, you're going to want to breastfeed because women bond with their children. I had my child and I couldn't breastfeed, So it's only when my spine the top of my neck started to curve, and it was affecting my heart, that when at the age of 29 going on 30, the surgeon said, right, we're going to do something about this, and they in weight, they removed 2 stones. Now that's 14 pounds on each breast in weight. Yeah. times 2, 14 times 2, 28 pounds they removed from my breast, you know. But it wasn't so much the physical pain what hurt me, it was people's behavior and reaction and words that really was damaging. I actually remember one time I got invited to this party and there was this girl and she saw me with her eyes, and it's like that sometimes people can give you that look where you know trouble is coming from that person. And she laughed out loud and she pointed at me. It's like she wanted me to know I'm talking about you and I am laughing about you. Yeah. And she was going around to her friend, each and every one of them in this party. Look at that girl. Look at her breast. Ha 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 ha. And I was stood there and I endured it, and I had to pretend as if I couldn't see, or like as if it wasn't happening, when full well I knew she was talking about me. It was too obvious. Some of my friends were there and they didn't know her and they didn't know what to say or do, and she went to she knew the majority of the people in this party, and I was singled out, and every person she went to looked at me and laughed with it, you know. So, you know, I chose to do something about it, and when it became a health issue, that's when I got the help and I had my surgery. Now, to think, I started puberty at a very young age, you know, from the age of, I started growing breasts from the age of about 7. Because I remember at the age of 7, I went to my mum saying, Mum, my nipples are really hurting me. And she goes, oh yes, that means you're going to grow breasts. You know what I mean? And it started from there. And, you know, I had all the perverts to deal with, and, you know, women thinking that I had friends. It was so bad, people. I had friends where, like, being a teenager or maybe being a child, where, you know, we were friends and we weren't allowed to be friends anymore because their mums wasn't happy with the size of my breast and knew that their husbands were looking at my breast. You know, and rather go and talk to your husband about his paedophile mentality because I'm this little girl, you know, they really singled me out and made me feel bad, you know, and I wasn't allowed to go into people's houses, and, you know, some of their friends wasn't allowed to talk to me because some of these mothers could not keep control over their husbands. I'm telling you the God honest truth. Yeah, you know, and you know what I mean? So I went through a hell of a lot. There were times where I used to just sit there and cry and think, why me? Why is this happening to me? So yes, I had the surgery, and I'm thinking that, oh, you know, I'm going to have my surgery. I'm going to be normal, everybody. You know, I'm going to be normal. People's going to accept me and people's going to love me for me. No, that didn't happen, you know. Yes, I was a normal weight, but, you know, my breast was normal, but people were intimidated because now I didn't have this big distraction in front of me. People could see, like, you know, the beauty of my face. Let me go more in the light. The people could see the beauty of my face and they found it quite intimidating, you know. And then I had this nice, wonderful personality. I remember that I had this friend that was, well, ex-friend, I would say, that was at the hospital, and she was running around me, you know, and I thought she was being so supportive until her husband said, oh my God, Ebony, you look really good. And then she came out with a comment about, go find your own. I was like, what? You know what I mean? And from that, she don't talk to me. Last time she talked to me, she came up to me accusing me of saying that she was jealous and how much her husband wanted me more than her. I don't know where she got that from, but there we go. But anyway, so I know I've waffled on a bit. The reason why I'm talking about this because, you know, no matter what, you gotta own your journey. You gotta own this journey. People, you can't, in life, you just cannot control what people are going to say and what people are going to do. But you can control how you emotionally feel. You see, I mean, okay, you know, I had my surgery when it became a health issue, but um I wanted it before for the wrong reasons. You understand? I wanted it because you know, I thought that was just going to help me stop people talking about me and accept me and like me and be really nice to me. Well, no, you know, I'm glad it happened at the time it did because it was for my health reasons. So, you know, when I say war with words, people, you know, me being a Christian, I read a lot of the Bible, and it's fair enough. Not everybody believes the Bible. You know, I respect people for what they think and what they are. I'm not here to preach to anyone, but I do believe that the Bible does preach about there's life and death in the tongue. You know, people can speak negative things in your life, and you can start doing negative stuff. And people can speak positive things and you can do positive stuff. People, the tongue is very powerful because, you know, it can dictate your mindset, not from your own, from other people's. And you can start making wrong decisions, having wrong feelings and emotions just by people's words. People, if you're listening to this, I'm saying this to you because you really need to put a hedge around this head of yours, yeah, and not let any negativity get in on this journey. You understand? Do not let any negative get in on this journey, because then you will find yourself submitting to what other people expected of you, when really the whole aim of you being on this journey, you know, yes, it will, you know, people want to lose weight and feel good about themselves and one another, but you just want to live a comfortable, happy, peaceful life, you know? I don't think everybody wants a comfortable, peaceful and a happy life. That's what we want. And, you know, we want better health. You understand? Because at the end of the day, this breath that's coming out of us is precious, and we want as much of it as possible. You understand? And I saw on yesterday, I think it was either yesterday or the day before, I can't remember the woman's name. I'm not going to bring up her name actually, but you know, I've been following her journey, and I was truly inspired by her weight loss surgery. And you know, I was really disturbed to see a video that she put on Friday. It was just in pure black to say that, you know, somebody had befriended her, subscribed to her page, and they'd gotten close to her. I think numbers were exchanged. They were talking on the phone, and you know, maybe they met up a few times and stuff like that. And then the person turned on her. She said she started noticing the girl doing stuff and saying stuff, and she had to question herself, why would you do that? Like, the girl started to question her, how comes you've got so many subscribers, you've got more than me? And then every time she uploaded a video, the girl uploaded a video, her video went first, whatever the issue or the subject was relating to her video, the other person went and did the same thing. She's been thinking, I just uploaded a video, obviously you've watched my video and you've gone and done the same thing. Why? Okay, whatever. Till it got really bad. Till this person turned really nasty. Now, the second video was, she was showing a letter that this person had written, even though she blocked her. When the girl got nasty, she blocked her from her YouTube account. And, you know, the person went as far as creating fake YouTubes, you know, fake pages and stuff like that, just to get to her, to say, she showed one of the letters that was written to her. It was so disgusting and downgrading. You know, you have to wonder, why would another woman want to tear up another woman like that? And you know what? It brought my mind back to back in the day when I remember I had very big breasts. And you know something? I have to admit, the women were the worst. And I used to think, I am a woman, I am a mother, I'm somebody's child. You're a woman just like me. You should understand how I feel within myself and stuff like that. And she just, you know what I mean? You know, and they didn't care. They just did not care. And it really hurt me. Now, this woman, the other lady that I saw the YouTube video on Sunday, she showed the letter, this girl was talking about, you stink, and underneath you, and even though you've lost so much weight and stuff like that, you are fat, you're fat, you're fat. You know what I mean? And something, my biggest regret is that I didn't respond to her. I was going to put a message on there to say, listen, do not give in to that demon. And something, the reason why I regret it, because she ended her video by saying, that's it, I've had enough now, I'm moving away from this, I'm over YouTube or another, and she shut down her YouTube account. Yeah, so she gave in to this other woman because it got serious, because this woman was accusing her of trying to take her husband. It was so disgusting, And then there was another video I saw today where people talk, they say stuff without thinking about it. But sometimes when you hear it one too many times, it can play on your mind mentally. It can play on your mind mentally till you start questioning yourself. So, I thought, no, let me make a video and say something, war with words. Like I said, there is life and death in the tongue. I believe there's a lot of power in the tongue. And what we need to do, anytime we're feeling a bit low, we need to start speaking positiveness back into our lives. We need to, even if it's to go back in our journeys, on our journals, on these YouTube channels, and go back to scratch from day one, where we're introducing ourselves in that conditioned state, and then go through it weekly and listen to all the promises that we made to ourselves to understand why we got here in the first place. My point is, this journey started with you and it's gonna end with you. You understand? Yeah. So please, when I'm saying war with words, we've got to be at war with words. Our army is good words, positive, and things that's gonna benefit our lives. Yeah. We are at war with negative words. We need to remove that and not be a part of it or associate or anything with it out of our lives, because your mindset, it can be a very fragile thing. You understand? It's a very fragile thing at times, but we have to take charge and take a hold of our journey and remain positive and fight the fit to the end. We didn't go through that. So we didn't have a surgeon just open us up for no reason, for the fun of it. That surgeon opened, each and every one of us has a reason why we're here today. Okay? So this journey starts and ends with yourself. And like I said, I had a major surgery 8 years ago. It didn't change anybody's behavior or accept me or love me even more or want the better for me. You understand? They were actually intimidated by me, and I'm going through it all over again. I've got family members that I don't talk to. I have nothing to do with them because they haven't got a good word to say about me, because I'm looking good. You understand? So far as I'm concerned, this is my journey. It started with me and it's going to end with me, And when people talking about, oh, you're losing too much weight, people, weight loss surgery, yeah? Weight loss surgery, family. Let me just remind you, the first year is just the honeymoon period. That's why they call it the golden year. Majority of people that have this weight loss surgery are do put on weight. They put on weight at the end. It could be a year after or maybe shortly after. We are expected to put on some weight. So when people are talking about, oh, you're losing too much weight, they have no idea what we're in for. Because yes, we're losing the weight now, but that's only for a period of time. It will come to an end. And then when it comes to an end after a year, we are expected to go into maintenance mode. You understand? Maintaining your goal weight is one of the hardest things that we're going to have to battle with. That's why with this first golden year, it's like having a brand new relationship with food and daily activities and doing stuff that's going to you know, benefit us and add years back to our lives. You understand? Yes, we've had this tool put into us, but fine. But the big journey is maintaining after the surgery, a year after the surgery, maintaining, because your body's going to go back to normal. The hormones are going to kick back in, X, Y, Z. Now remember, these people that's telling you, oh, you're losing too much weight, you're losing too much weight. Just remember, these are the same people that weren't telling you that you were putting on too much weight. They weren't telling that you were gaining much weight. So that's why I'm saying you've got to, we've got to be at war with words. Yeah, we are at war with words. Our army is good, positive words that's gonna benefit us. We're not. Our camp does not hold any form of negative words. No, it doesn't hold any form of negative words that's gonna put us down for us to go back to square one where we came back from. We've worked too hard for this. We went through too much pain for this. We've been throwing up and being sick and taking all these medications. We didn't do all of this for nothing. You understand? We've made this life-changing decision because we want a better life. You understand? So, I'm saying put that hedge around you, and any negative words, do not let it go on your mind and mentally challenge you in a way that you need to be questioning yourself. You don't need to question yourself, because as long as you're watching this video that I'm putting on, I know that you've got a YouTube account somewhere and your journey started from somewhere. You understand? So, yeah. I'm going to leave it now because I'm waffling on and on and on and on and on. Yeah, I've taken up my weave, but my God, people, look. My hair is thinned out here and here. Everything else is fine. Just a little bit here. Yeah, so that's why I've got my little headband. So let me take it off. You understand? I've got my little weave on. But yeah, you know what I mean? So I just want you guys to be at war with negative words. That's not going to benefit you. No way, shape or form another. And we're not saying that all the people that are speaking negativity into your life is entirely against you, but what I'm saying is don't let it sink in. Don't take it too seriously, because it really ain't that serious. We started somewhere and we're going to end this journey with somewhere. Okay, so anyway, I'm out of it. Take care. Bye bye.